So what I'm going to be doing in today's video is talking about something a little bit different, and that is the different types of car shampoos on the market. Now this might seem a little bit random, but it's arisen from getting a lot of questions about this topic, and also because in the past few years in particular, a lot of manufacturers have released multiple different types of shampoo, which all do slightly different things, and it can be quite confusing to know which to use when, so I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on it, some examples of my favourites, and when I use them for different situations. So I'm going to start off with the most basic kind of shampoo, and this is a pH neutral shampoo. So these are used for general maintenance washing. Being pH neutral, they're not very aggressive, so they won't strip waxes or sealants, they just help to maintain them. The main characteristics that I look for in a pH neutral shampoo are a good dilution ratio, so they're not too pricey to be using on weekly washes, and also plenty of slickness, as this is what allows the wash mitt to glide over the panel nice and easily and reduce the risk of wash marring. I'm not massively bothered about cleaning power, as I'll use different shampoos if I require more cleaning power. These are just for general washing, and I'm not too bothered about suds. It's nice to have them, but it's not the main thing. Slickness is really the main thing that I look for. So in terms of pH neutral shampoos, I think they can be split into two main categories. The first of which being pure shampoos. These don't contain any other additives. They're just there to clean the car and basically be as slick as possible, so your wash mitt can do some of the work and it's not going to leave any marring behind. The second type have some additives in them, so these are wax infused or gloss enhancing shampoos. They're called sort of similar things. Now these have obviously additives, as the name would suggest, that are supposed to leave a little bit of protection behind and boost the gloss of the finish. Now there are a couple of reasons why I generally don't tend to use them and don't get on too well with them. First of which, I don't really feel like they add that much in terms of gloss and protection. I've tried probably about 10 and I don't really feel like they do all that much. I think splitting the stages and adding your protection stage or a quick detailer afterwards is going to do more for this. And the second reason that I'm not a huge fan is because I feel like they do clog existing protection. So if you've got a wax or sealant on the car that's beading and sheeting water really nicely, using a gloss enhancing shampoo a lot of the time can kind of dull that and cause the water behaviour to slow down a bit. So generally I'm not a massive fan of them, so I don't have any examples here to show you of those, but I do have some pH neutral ones, and these are the Garage Therapy car shampoo. That is the Garage Therapy 1 car shampoo, because they do have a few different ones, and this is Squid Ink HD Pure, both of which are really great, good dilution ratios, nice and slick, work in a foam cannon and in a bucket, so they tick all the main boxes for me. Now the next type of shampoo that I'm going to be talking about is Decon shampoo. So there are a few different types of these as well, so I'm going to be splitting them down and starting with the main one that people are probably most familiar with, and these are Alkaline shampoos. So two examples here are Garage Therapy's Zero Decon shampoo and High Definition Details Grime Zero. So what these are alkaline shampoos that are designed to give a deeper clean. Having that higher pH really means that they provide much deeper clean than a pH neutral shampoo. So a couple of situations where this is going to be really useful is if you are preparing a car during a chemical decon, you're going to be polishing it or you're going to be applying subsequent protection, and you want to remove anything that's on there at the moment. Obviously, depending on the protection that's on there, it won't remove everything. It's not going to remove ceramic coatings, but if a wax or a sealant is sort of starting to die off, this can do the last of the job and prepare it for more protection. And the second reason is to give a ceramic coating a deeper clean. So these are really useful to use on a routine basis every kind of 4 to 6 months, depending on your mileage. Using something like this is going to cleanse the coating, bring back some water behaviour and give it a deeper clean, so you might not need to actually apply more top-up protection. If you are noticing the water behaviour die off, it could be that it's clogged, and using something like this can really help. The second type of Decon shampoo to address is an acidic Decon shampoo, so other end of the spectrum, a lower pH now with these, and these target different types of contamination. So these are really good for addressing mineral deposits and salt deposits. So if you're in a hard water area, struggling with water spots, using something like this is really helpful, as mineral deposits can actually clog protection. So if you've got particularly a ceramic coated vehicle and it's looking a little bit flat, using one of these can help to bring the life back to it without needing to top it up. And then also they are really good in winter as well, when the salt's getting kicked up onto the car. These can be really good to help neutralise that salt being acidic and really cleanse the coating as well. They also can be used to sort of strip waxes and sealants before applying subsequent protection. However, I generally feel like alkaline ones are a little bit more useful to me for that. But again, if you want to use these, then you can definitely give it a go too. So the examples of these that I've got are Garage Therapy DMS, which is Demineralization Shampoo, and CarPro D-Scale. Both of these have very similar dilution ratios, both feel nice and slick, work in a bucket and a foam cannon, and yeah, do a really good job. So the next shampoo that I want to address is another Decon one, and it's a bit more of a wildcard one, and this is a shampoo that has an iron fallout remover built in. So obviously if you're doing a chemical decon on the car, the two main steps really are iron fallout removal and tar removal. Using a shampoo like this can obviously combine the wash step with the iron removal stage to speed things up a little bit. So I only have one example here to show you, and this is Gion Restart Wash. Haven't tried any shampoos like it, and it is quite a cool one to have as it does help speed things up. What I will say about it though is that I don't think it's as strong as using a separate iron fallout remover after the contact wash. So if you are dealing with a car that's, say, not been deconned in the last year, there's a lot of contamination on it, then this probably isn't going to really cut it. But if you've got a ceramic coated car that you're just looking to maintain, then using this every sort of 4 to 6 months is again going to be beneficial and maybe reduce the need to do a separate iron decontamination step as frequently. So quite a useful product to have, but again, a little bit more of a niche one. You're probably only going to really need these two as decon shampoos, and then you can use an iron fallout remover. That's probably how I would approach it usually. And the final type of shampoo that I want to address is another maintenance one, and this is a ceramic shampoo. So these are generally used for maintenance. As with the pH neutral ones, the ones that I've got in the middle here, the Decon shampoos, they're for deep cleaning, not something that I would be using on a routine basis. These fit into something you would probably use more like monthly. So ceramic shampoos are a little bit different to wax infused and gloss enhancing shampoos in that they do tend to leave better protection behind. They are leaving something behind on the surface, so if you don't like that, then they aren't going to work for you. But if you want a shampoo that's actually going to add protection and do something really in terms of that, as well as just clean, then these are better options in my opinion compared to wax infused and gloss enhancing shampoos. These work really well for ceramic coated vehicles and can definitely help to speed things up. You're not going to need to apply protection afterwards when using one of these products. They can work standalone on a vehicle with no protection on it, but generally they tend to work better if you're using them to top up existing protection. Otherwise the water behaviour might be a little bit flat. So the examples that I've got here are Gion Bathe Plus. So the Bathe Plus bit is really important. They have Gion Bathe, which is the pH neutral pure shampoo. You're looking for the plus if you want the ceramic one. And then Valet Pro Ceramic Shampoo, as the name suggests, fits into this category. Now, although ceramic shampoos can be great for speeding things up by combining the protection and the wash stages, they are again something that I generally don't tend to use as often, and there's a couple of reasons why I don't get on with them quite as well as pH neutral pure shampoos. Firstly, they don't feel as slick. I really value slickness when I'm washing a car, as that's what's really going to reduce the risk of marring. They do feel still quite slick, these two, but they're just not as slick as a pH neutral pure shampoo, like the two that I've got here. And yeah, that is really what I prioritise. And again, they aren't as sudsy, not nearly as sudsy as a regular shampoo. The suds in the bucket generally tend to die after a minute, and although suds aren't the most important thing, it does feel a little bit weird when washing with a shampoo that doesn't really have any suds. It's just a little bit of a strange experience and I'm not as much of a fan of it. So I generally tend to split the stages, wash the car and then apply the protection afterwards rather than combining them into a single step. However, there are people that have recommended these kinds of shampoos for, so people who've spoke to me and said that they want to look after their own car but they don't have much time to do it. And when I start talking about washing the car, pre-washing, all that, and then say, right, when you're done, that's when you apply sealant, and they go, hang on, I don't want to do all that, then using something like this is going to obviously combine those stages and just mean that the car gets protection, but they don't really have to do anything extra. And those are the types of people that I would recommend this product for. But if you enjoy spending more time on your vehicle, then I think you get more by splitting these steps. That's just my opinion though, and I do think there is a place for these kinds of products. So hopefully this video has been helpful. What I'm going to do is pop a link to all these shampoos in the description in the different categories so you can figure out which you need. If you have found it useful, it would be brilliant if you could drop it a like, and thanks very much for watching.